It's a difficult truth to face, isn't it? We see friends, family members, people we know, reaching their late 70s, perhaps just crossing the threshold of 80, and then they're gone. Far too many seem to stop just shy of that milestone, or perhaps only make it a year or two past it. We often wonder why. Is it just luck, genetics? Is it simply their time? We hear about people living to 90 or 100 and think, oh, they must have special genes, or they lived a perfect life. But what if I told you it's often not the big, dramatic illnesses or predetermined fate that hold so many back? What if there are subtle, surprising factors, things we often overlook in our daily lives, that play a huge role in why most seniors don't live well into their 80s and beyond? These aren't necessarily about eating kale every day or running a marathon. They're deeper, sometimes hidden, aspects of how we live and feel. In this video, we're going to explore 5 of these surprising reasons, peeling back the layers to understand what truly supports a long, vibrant life. And don't just listen to the first few, watch all the way to the end, because there's something truly powerful waiting for you. Let's start with the first reason. And it's one that might sound simple, perhaps even obvious, but its impact is profound and often underestimated. It's the silent killer of potential longevity, and that's social disconnection. We are, fundamentally, social creatures. From the moment we're born, we thrive on connection. As we get older, life can sometimes conspire to reduce those connections. Children move away, spouses or friends pass on, mobility might decrease, making it harder to get out and about. The quiet starts to creep in. You might think, well, I'm quite happy on my own. I like my peace and quiet. And solitude can be wonderful. Absolutely. But there's a vast difference between cherished solitude and enforced isolation. Loneliness, chronic loneliness, doesn't just make you feel sad. It has tangible, negative effects on your physical health. Studies have shown, time and time again, that people who feel isolated or lonely are at a higher risk for heart disease, stroke, depression, cognitive decline, and even weakened immune systems. It's as detrimental to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, or so the research suggests. Imagine that. Not smoking, but feeling like you have nobody genuinely there for you. Nobody to share a cup of tea with. Nobody to call just to chat. Nobody to lean on when things are tough. That feeling triggers stress responses in the body, raises inflammation, and generally wears down your systems over time. It's a slow erosion of your health reserves. Think about it in practical terms. When you're feeling connected, perhaps you're planning a coffee date, or looking forward to a call with a friend, or getting ready for a club meeting. These activities give you a reason to get up, to get dressed, maybe to go for a walk, to engage your mind in conversation, to laugh. Laughter itself is medicine. Isn't it? When you're isolated, those motivators disappear. The days can blend into one another, becoming monotonous. There's less incentive to take care of yourself. Why bother making a nice meal just for one? Why get dressed if you're not seeing anyone? Why go for a walk if there's no one to bump into or wave at? It's not about being surrounded by people all the time. It's about having meaningful connections, feeling seen, heard, and valued by others. It's about reciprocity, being able to offer support as well as receive it. The good news is, this isn't a life sentence. Rebuilding connections is possible at any age. It might feel daunting, especially if you've been alone for a while or if you're shy. But small steps can make a world of difference. Could you call one person you haven't spoken to in a while this week? Just a quick thinking of you call. Could you investigate local groups or clubs? A gardening club, a walking group, a book club, a craft circle, a bridge group, Many communities have centers specifically for seniors with activities. It might feel uncomfortable walking in alone the first time. But remember, many people there are looking for connection too. What about volunteering? Giving your time and skills to help others is a powerful way to feel connected, useful, and meet like-minded people. Even online connections can help, though they're often best when they supplement in-person interaction. Joining an online community related to a hobby you enjoy, or using video calls to connect with distant family. The key is intentionality. It requires a conscious effort to reach out, to say yes to invitations even if you don't feel like it initially, and to put yourself in situations where connections can happen. Don't wait for people to come to you. Sometimes, you have to be the one to initiate. It's an investment in your health, just like eating well or exercising. Prioritizing genuine connection is not a luxury. It's a fundamental human need that contributes significantly to how long and how well we live. Now, linked very closely to connection, but a distinct and equally surprising reason why many don't live well past 80 is the loss of purpose. You might retire from your job. Your children might be grown and independent. Perhaps you're no longer caring for elderly parents. Many of the roles that defined you for decades might fade away. And while retirement is often anticipated as a time of freedom and relaxation, for some, it can lead to a profound sense of aimlessness. When the alarm clock stops setting your schedule, when there's no deadline to meet, no project to complete, no one depending on you in the same way, life can suddenly feel empty. This isn't about being busy for the sake of it. It's about having a reason to get up in the morning, something that gives your life meaning and direction. Our brains and bodies are wired to be engaged, to solve problems, to contribute. When that engagement stops, or drastically reduces, it can have a debilitating effect. People who lose their sense of purpose often experience faster cognitive decline, increased risk of depression and anxiety, and even physical health issues. It's as if the vital spark starts to dim. Having a purpose, something you care about, something that motivates you, provides structure to your days and injects vitality into your life. It doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. Purpose can be found in countless ways. It might be pursuing a long-held hobby you never had time for, learning a new language, playing a musical instrument, painting, writing your memoirs. It could be dedicating time to a cause you believe in through volunteering. As we mentioned earlier, it could be mentoring younger people, sharing your wisdom and experience. It could be tending a garden that feeds you and others, or creating beautiful things with your hands. It could even be something as simple as becoming the family archivist, organizing photos and stories for future generations, or becoming the go-to person in your neighborhood for fixing things or helping with errands. The key is that it's something you choose, something that engages your mind and perhaps your body, and something that gives you a sense of accomplishment or contribution. It's about feeling needed, feeling useful, feeling like you are still growing and evolving. This combats the feeling of being finished or put out to pasture. Think about people you know who are thriving in their 80s and 90s. What are they doing often? They are still engaged in life. They might be involved in community activities, pursuing passions, or simply dedicated to learning something new every day. They have a reason to keep going, a reason to stay curious, a reason to maintain their health. Finding or creating a new purpose after a major life transition like retirement is not just a nice idea. It's a powerful strategy for promoting longevity and well-being. It gives you motivation, structure, and a sense of identity beyond the roles you previously held. It's about actively designing the next chapter of your life, filling it with things that matter to you. So, if you've retired or gone through another big change and are feeling a bit adrift, ask yourself, what truly interests me? What skills do I have that I could share? What have I always wanted to try? What cause do I care about? The answers to those questions can be the starting point for finding your next, perhaps most fulfilling, Purpose. Building on the idea of finding purpose and managing our mental state. Let's look at a third surprising reason that often shortens lives after 80 on chronic low-grade stress and worry. Now, we all experience stress in life. Of course, big events, deadlines, difficulties. That's normal. But I'm talking about the constant hum of low-level anxiety, the persistent worrying about things we often can't control, the dwelling on past mistakes, the fretting about future uncertainties. For many, as they age, specific worries might shift. They might worry more about their health, their finances, their children, the state of the world. This isn't about clinical anxiety, although that's also important to address. It's about the everyday mental habit of worrying, of carrying a low-level tension in the body and mind, while not as dramatic as acute stress. This chronic low-grade version constantly triggers the body's stress response system. It releases cortisol and other stress hormones over long periods. What does that do? It contributes to inflammation throughout the body, which is linked to almost every age-related disease, from heart problems and diabetes to arthritis and cognitive decline. It can disrupt sleep, impair digestion, increase blood pressure, and generally accelerate wear and tear on your body's systems. It's like running a car with the emergency brake slightly engaged all the time. You might not notice it much day to day, but over years, it causes significant damage. Often, we don't even realize how much chronic worry we're holding on to. It becomes a background noise. Oh, that's just how I am. We might say, but this habit of mind is not benign. It's actively impacting our physical health. Learning to manage this kind of stress isn't about never worrying. It's about developing strategies to reduce its intensity and duration. It's about recognizing when your mind is spiraling into worry and gently bringing it back to the present. Simple practices can make a huge difference. Mindful breathing, for instance. Just taking a few slow, deep breaths can interrupt the stress response. Or grounding techniques. Focusing on your senses. What do you see? Hear, feel, smell, taste right now. This pulls you out of your head and into the present moment, where the worry usually isn't. Gentle physical activity is also incredibly effective at reducing stress hormones. A walk in nature, some light stretching, gardening, engaging in hobbies, as we discussed in Purpose, can also be a powerful distraction from worry. Connecting with friends and family, sharing your concerns with someone you trust, can also help diffuse anxiety. Sometimes, just saying the worry out loud makes it seem less overwhelming. Keeping a worry journal, writing down your worries, and then perhaps setting a specific worry time each day, where you allow yourself to think about them, rather than letting them intrude all day, can help contain the anxiety. For persistent or overwhelming worry, talking to a therapist or counselor can provide invaluable tools and support. It's a sign of strength, not weakness, to seek help when your mind is causing you distress. The surprising truth is, managing your mental state, actively working to reduce chronic worry and stress, is as crucial for longevity as managing your blood pressure or cholesterol. It's an internal environment that needs tending, just like a garden. Cultivating calm and reducing worry is a vital, surprising step towards living well into your 80s and beyond. Moving from the internal landscape of stress to our physical selves. The fourth reason many don't live past 80 is neglecting subtle physical signals. As we age, aches, pains, fatigue, and minor changes become more common. It's tempting to dismiss them as just getting old, to push through, to ignore them, or simply pop a painkiller and carry on. Oh, my knee always clicks, or I'm just tired, or my digestion isn't what it used to be. While some changes are a natural part of aging, many subtle signals are actually early warning signs of something that could become a bigger problem down the line if left unaddressed. Our bodies are remarkably good at communicating with us, but we often become deaf to their whispers. A persistent, unusual fatigue that doesn't improve with rest isn't just getting old. It could be related to thyroid function, anemia, or other underlying issues. A new ache or pain that lingers isn't necessarily just wear and tear. It could be the start of something that physiotherapy, specific exercises, or a different approach could manage effectively, preventing it from becoming debilitating later. Digestive changes could be improved by dietary adjustments or might indicate a need for medical attention. The surprising part here is that it's often not ignoring a massive heart attack that shortens lives prematurely, but ignoring the consistent, low-level signals for years, the slightly elevated blood pressure that isn't treated, the prediabetes that's dismissed, the persistent back pain that leads to inactivity, the subtle cognitive changes that are brushed off as forgetfulness. Each of these small, seemingly insignificant things, when ignored over time, can build up and contribute to major health crises that limit longevity. It's about being proactive rather than reactive. It means developing a greater awareness of your body and its unique language. When something feels off and persists, it warrants attention. This doesn't mean becoming hypochondriacal, constantly worrying about every little twinge which, as we discussed, adds to stress. It means developing a mindful relationship with your physical self. It means listening without panic, and then taking appropriate action. That action might be resting, changing a habit, or, importantly, consulting a healthcare professional. Regular checkups are vital, of course, but it's equally important to communicate honestly with your doctor about those subtle changes you're noticing. Don't minimize them because you don't want to be a bother or because you assume it's just age. Be specific about what's happening, when it started, what makes it better or worse. A good doctor will take your concerns seriously. Empower yourself by being informed. If you have a new symptom, do a little reliable research from reputable health organizations, not just random websites, so you can have an intelligent conversation with your doctor. Taking these subtle signals seriously allows for early intervention. Whether that's lifestyle changes, medication, therapy, or other treatments. Addressing issues when they are small prevents them from growing into significant obstacles to a long and healthy life. It's about respecting your body and giving it the attention it deserves, not just when something is screamingly wrong, but when it's whispering, finally. Let's talk about the fifth surprising reason many don't live vibrantly past 80: lack of novelty and continued learning. Our brains and bodies are designed to adapt and grow. When we stop challenging ourselves, when we settle into rigid routines, when we stop exposing ourselves to new experiences and ideas, we risk stagnation. It's not just about formal education. It's about staying curious about the world, trying new things, learning new skills, even small ones. Think about it. When you were younger, you were constantly learning, adapting, solving new problems. That process kept your brain agile and resilient. As we get older, it's easy to retreat into comfort zones, to stick with what we know, to avoid anything that feels difficult or unfamiliar. This might feel safe, but it deprives our brains of the stimulation they need to stay sharp. Learning a new language, taking up a new hobby like pottery or coding, trying a completely different type of exercise class, traveling somewhere new, reading books on subjects you know nothing about, engaging in challenging puzzles or strategy games. These activities create new neural pathways in the brain, improving cognitive function and resilience. They help build what's called cognitive reserve, which is like a buffer that can help delay the onset of age-related cognitive decline, like dementia. But it's not just about the brain. Trying new things often involves physical activity, even if it's just navigating a new place or using different muscles in a craft. It can also lead to new social connections, addressing the issue of isolation, and importantly, experiencing novelty and learning keeps life interesting. It combats boredom and apathy, which can contribute to feelings of low mood and lack of purpose. Think about the opposite. Someone who does the exact same thing every single day, talks to the same few people, eats the same foods, watches the same shows. never tries anything new. While there's comfort in routine, a complete lack of novelty can make life feel monotonous and can contribute to a decline in both mental and physical vitality. The surprising element here is that simply staying mentally active in familiar ways isn't enough. Reading the same genre of books or doing the same type of crossword puzzle day after day is good, but actively trying something new and challenging provides a different level of stimulation. It requires your brain to work in different ways. So, what's one new thing you could try this week? It doesn't have to be monumental. Could you try a new recipe? Listen to a different type of music? Watch a documentary on a subject you know nothing about? Take a different route on your walk? Sign up for a short online course on something that sparks your interest? The act of engaging with novelty, of putting yourself in the position of a learner again, injects energy and vitality into your life. It's about embracing the opportunity to continue growing and evolving. No matter your age, staying curious and continually learning is a powerful, often overlooked, strategy for not just living longer, but living a fuller, more interesting life. So, we've explored these 5 surprising reasons why many people don't live robustly past the age of 80. It's often not just a single, dramatic event, but the culmination of overlooking things like the critical need for social connection and the dangers of isolation. The vital importance of maintaining a sense of purpose and meaning in your life. The silent, corrosive effect of chronic low-grade stress and persistent worry. The need to truly listen to and act on your body's subtle signals rather than dismissing them. And the power of embracing novelty and continuing to learn and challenge yourself. These aren't always the things we talk about in typical health conversations, but they are fundamental pillars of a long and healthy life. Remember, making changes doesn't mean you have to overhaul your entire life tomorrow. It starts with awareness. Now that you know about these factors, you can begin to observe your own life. Are you feeling isolated? Have you lost your sense of purpose? Do you find yourself worrying constantly? Are you ignoring persistent aches or fatigue? Are you stuck in a rigid routine with no new stimulation? Just acknowledging these areas is the first, brave step. Then, choose one small thing you can do today or this week to address one of these areas. It could be calling that friend, researching a local volunteer opportunity, trying a simple breathing exercise, scheduling that checkup you've been putting off, or looking up a recipe for a dish you've never made. Small, consistent actions compound over time and can make a truly significant difference to your health and happiness. Living well into your 80s and beyond isn't just about avoiding illness. It's about cultivating vitality, resilience, and joy. It's about nurturing your connections, finding meaning, managing your inner world, respecting your physical body, and keeping your mind and spirit alive with curiosity. You have so much wisdom, experience, and potential still within you. Don't let these surprising barriers hold you back from living your fullest life. I truly hope this has given you something valuable to think about. What resonated most with you? Are there other surprising reasons you think limit longevity? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could be incredibly helpful to others in this community. And if you found this video helpful and encouraging, please give it a like. It helps me know what content is resonating with you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos dedicated to helping you live your best life at every age. Thank you for watching. And remember, it is absolutely possible to live a long, vibrant, and meaningful life far beyond 80. You have the power to influence your journey.